Hello and welcome to your introduction to Ashtanga Yoga. Now, Ashtanga Yoga literally means 8 limbs, and that refers back to the 8 limbs of yoga. Everything from our yamas and niyamas, like how we should act, to our pranayama, our breath practice, to our asana, our physical poses that we do, all the way into meditation, and even referring back to the sense of enlightenment or seeking this pure joy through practice. Now today we're going to be doing some of the movements that you will see in a primary series of an Ashtanga class. Ashtanga is a pretty disciplined approach, and a lot of the poses are done in the exact order every single time. You might not see all of the primary series poses here today, but you will get a sense for how Ashtanga might feel and flow. And of course, if you love this, go out and find a practice and maybe talk to the teacher ahead of time and say, I have some introduction, but I'd love to learn more. If you are the person that likes a little bit more physically demanding of a class and you like a disciplined approach, you always know what you're going to get, Ashtanga might be the practice for you. We're going to start this practice with a traditional yogic breath called Ujjayi breathing. And this uses our diaphragm and our clavicular breathing, this upper chest. And it's designed also to warm our throat chakra. When you talk about chakras, you're talking about the energy points in the body. And the throat is kind of that link between mind and body, referring back to yoga, which means yoke, or the binding between mind and body. So as you inhale, imagine filling that belly with air. You can close your eyes if you need to kind of get into this space. And as you exhale, pulling that belly in and up underneath the rib cage, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale and exhale. I want you to imagine, we'll breathe through your mouth first. So inhale, nose, exhale. We're going to breathe through the mouth. Good. Inhale and exhale. I want you to imagine it's a cold winter's day and you're in front of a window. You're nice and warm inside, but you can see how cold it is outside. And as you exhale, imagine fogging up that window in front of you. You may have done it before when you write a smiley face or a little heart or something in it. Inhale and exhale, feeling the breath traveling on the throat. You're going to get a sense very soon on why this is sometimes called noisy or loud breathing or even ocean breathing. So inhale, exhale. Might sound like the waves crashing on the shore. Still incorporating the belly. Inhale, relax the belly. Exhale, engage. Keep this same kind of sensation. And as you exhale this time, close your mouth and allow the breath to travel on your throat and out through your nose, still being a little bit noisy. Taking a few more breaths, knowing that we will revisit this breath as we practice. Inhale, standing strong. We're moving directly into something called the sun salutation. We'll do 3 full rounds of this, starting off a little bit slower and then picking up speed as we go through this. You may choose to have some blocks close to you if you need them, or you can do this with anatomical modifications, and I'll show you how you can support yourself there. Inhaling, reaching to the sky, extended mountain, or zipping the belly, taking a little back bend for full sun. Exhale, bending the knees, swan diving over to a forward bend, letting the hands support, or you can always have your block right here in front. Moving into half lift. So from here, our hands travel onto our shins as we lengthen our spine, pulling our belly tight, long, straight spine, warming up the backs of the legs. You can also have your hands, if you'd rather, on blocks or even down on the ground into a half lift. Exhale, forward bend. Right leg back into a low lunge. Now, knee can be up or down. You can also have one block in here to support or a block on both sides to support in a low lunge. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Hands down, legs back, upside down V. We're just introducing our body to this, so maybe let yourself walk your legs out a little bit. Whatever you feel like you need here. Inhale into a nice long plank. We're going to start out by kneeling into this plank. And then slowly lowering down. I'm going to move my block to the side so you can see me. Slowly lowering down, hips touch last all the way flat on the ground. Notice my elbows are hugged in nice and tight. Pressing my feet down, lifting up into a baby cobra. The back of the body is active. Nice long neck, reaching out through the backs of the feet, up through the top of the head. No pressure on the hands at this point. Exhale, child's pose just for now, just to kind of reset. We're just getting started. Knees wide, sitting back. Remember, you can find a full child's pose. You can choose to kind of build this up a little bit if you like. Good. I'm going to take a second to tuck the front of my shirt in a little bit. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to step our right foot forward to lunge. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do that. We're going to start with something that's pretty accessible to everyone. So that's dropping the opposite knee, the left, and then stepping the right foot all the way into a lunge. Good. From here, exhale, stepping into that forward bend, supporting somewhere. Inhale, flattening through the back, arms reach to the sky, side and the sky, reverse swan dive. And then exhale, taking this back into a full sun a little bit. Inhale, back up to the reach. And exhale, swan dive to a forward bend, finishing out this round. Inhale, flat back, long spine. Exhale, forward bend. Doing the opposite side this time, stepping the right leg back as we the left leg back. I said opposite, and I said the same. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, kneeling plank. Exhale, lowering to the mat. We're calling this chaturanga because ideally we'll go really slow, maybe even hover here. And then inhale, pushing through the hands a little bit, trying to lift into a cobra pose. So cobra, pushing through the feet, they're really strong, squeezing the bottom, dropping the shoulders back, shoulders away from ears, lifting through the chest, back bend of your choice. As big or as small as you want to go. Exhale, downward facing dog. So skipping that child's pose this time. That was just a little recovery posture. And then bringing the left foot forward to lunge. So you can also bend the knees, gaze forward, and get this left foot all the way up to the front of the mat. You have a couple different ways you can do this now, right? And if it gets stuck, just pick it up and bring it forward. I'll show you that on the other side too. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, bend the knees, reverse swan dive. And exhale, take a little back bend. So that's one round. We're kind of adding on. We're making this a little different each time we go through it. Inhale, reaching. We're going to move through some parts a little faster. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, right leg back, low lunge. Remember, use whatever method you have found that works for you. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, you can drop your knees to kneeling or find a nice long lifted plank. Hands push away. Head is not hanging, it's strong. Exhale, lowering to the mat. Try to make the hips the last thing to touch. Chaturanga, press through the feet as we lift into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot forward, low lunge. Now remember what I said about it getting stuck? I'll show you on this side. It might get stuck part the way up. If that's the case, reach back and help it forward. Exhale into a forward bend. Inhale, reverse swan dive, flat back. Exhale, little back bend, full sun. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, swan dive into a forward bend. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, left leg back, low lunge. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, pick your plank option. Exhale, lower as slow as you can. Elbows rub the sides of your body. Let me show you one more option, the back bend. So we have our baby cobra, where we don't push. Full cobra, where we push. You can also, and this is probably the most intense back bend variation, push through your feet and your hands and lift everything else up into an upward facing dog. Make sure you have a long neck. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes forward. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, reverse swan dive. And exhale, take a little back bend. Last round. You know all your options, so we're moving the fastest we've moved so far. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive, flat back. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, right leg back, low lunge. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. We can hover for a second if we want. Inhale, up dog or cobra. So you can do this without ever touching the ground on that if you want to. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot forward, low lunge. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, full sun. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, left leg back, low lunge. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, pick your plank. Exhale, pick your lower. Elbows roll in and squeeze against the sides. Lifting up, back bend of your choice. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, reverse swan dive. And exhale, mountain, hands by your side. Good, there's one little piece that I want to point out too on bringing that lunge forward while you're standing, breathing, taking a moment. As you lunge forward, remember that we always put our heel down. So sometimes we get stuck lunging like this. We want to bring it in a little bit, put the heel down. That might be why we need to create some space. All right. Ujjayi breathing. Inhale, exhale. Reaching up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive to a forward bend. Supporting. From here, we're gonna step our right leg back and make sure our foot is perpendicular. So back foot toes facing the long edge of the mat, front toes facing the short edge. Supporting on our elbow, dropping nice and deep. Good. Just focus on the depth here first. Think about this long line down the side of the body. Strong, push through the arm. Then reach, creating a line down the whole side for extended side angle. Pressing with that arm, strong, strong, strong. Lengthening, neck can go wherever you want it to go. You can look up, out, or down. From here, reaching to the sky, straightening the front leg, holding wherever your hand lands into triangle. Just avoid the knee, right? We can push up on the thigh, down here. From here, we're going to turn toward this bottom leg. So have both hands supporting. If you need to, you can step the back foot in a little bit. I know sometimes when I revolve, I'm like, that's a little much. You can even angle that back foot. Taking that right hand, holding onto the thigh, left hand to the back pocket, we start to twist this triangle a little bit. You can bend your front knee a little bit if that helps. If you don't like that extended leg. Remember, celebrating what our body can do today. And now bending the front knee a little bit, turning forward. If you need, you have a block for a wide leg forward bend. Now, as you get more used to this forward bend, maybe your hands come down. Maybe you drop your head closer and closer to the mat. Toes are slightly turned in. You decide what you need to do. Heels in, toes out, bring yourselves up. Stepping back to the front of our mat. Reaching up and exhaling to mountain hands by our side. Now I'm going to go the other way just so you get a different view, but it's the same poses. Exhaling to a forward bend. Again, we can have a little knee bend if you want. You want to think about pulling your belly closer and closer and closer to your thighs. From here, it's our left leg that goes back. And again, we have a kind of a 90-degree angle here. Sorry. Front toes, back toes. Hands to hips, drop into the front knee. Strong arm, pressing down on the thigh, dropping the hips, creating a line. When you're ready, you can add a reach. From here, reaching to the sky, straightening the front leg and supporting. If we need to, we can grab a block, but we probably won't be that low to the ground. Helping get really nice alignment in our triangle pose. Releasing hand to hand. Now we're going into that revolve. I like to kind of hop my back foot in a little bit. Turn the toe. Hands down, we're taking that left hand across, this time to the thigh. Now I'm coming toward you. Right hand can go up to the back pocket as we rotate. Releasing, walking to center for a wide leg forward bend. I'm not going to stay in this direction long, make you stare at my bottom. We're in a wide leg forward bend. Again, you can use the hands. You can even, if you're feeling like it, walk them through and pull a little bit, bending the elbows so that your head comes down toward the mat. Good. Coming up, turning the toes out, heels in, and step toward the front leg. Standing at the front of your mat. We're going to work a little bit on balance. So I think I've mentioned this in other videos, but I like to stand on the floor sometimes for my balance. That's perfectly fine. Or you can stay on the mat. Start by lifting our right leg, just for a balance, holding underneath, reaching out with your opposite arm. Lifting the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. This is your balance. This arm that's out, we're going to take it and cross it, grabbing across that knee, reaching the opposite arm back behind us. I found a wall, so you can reach out to the side if you need to. I can even hold on to the wall. That's kind of nice. Coming back to center, hands to hips. Just extend the leg. Try to keep the hips even. Lift the leg as much as you're comfortable with. And then sweeping the leg right behind you, lands at a bit of an angle, reaching the arms up for warrior one. So warrior one, shoulders over hips, square the chest, bend the front knee, warrior one. And opening to warrior two, feet a little wider and perpendicular, arms out, kind of like they were in triangle and extended angle. From here, we're going to sweep the back arm and the back leg in together and sit into chair. Heels heavy, dropping as low as we can, keeping the heels anchored, reaching the arms into a chair pose. And standing tall, release. Left leg time to work. Lifting the knee. I'm going to go to the side here. I think that'll be the best way to see this revolved pose. Crossing the right hand across to hold the knee. And we can reach behind us in a twist. Ooh. It's a little hard to... It's okay to fall in and out of it. I know I do all the time. Center. Extending. Keep the hips even. Keep one from hiking up real high. And then swish the leg back. Land in warrior one. Opening to warrior two. Stepping in, back leg, back arm, chair. Now you're going to see a little part of that sun salutation. It's used very often to link poses in Ashtanga. Exhale, diving to a forward bend. Let's walk straight back to a down dog. Inhale, plank. Your version. Exhale, lower to your version. Back bend of your choice. And exhale, child's. Knees down, reaching out. As we inhale, we sit up. And we're going to bring the legs all the way around. Now you might want a bolster for this next part. Leg sweep around. And we're going into something called staff pose. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, you're sitting with your legs out. Harder than anticipated sometimes. So this is literally staff pose. However, if we haven't bolstered up our bottom, sometimes we tend to sit like this. We're rounded, we're slouched, and we go to that place we always go because our muscles are used to it. Tight here, loose here, back pain. So sit tall, roll the shoulders back, bring the second toes up to the sky. And then from here, think about slowly walking your belly to your thighs for a forward bend. Breathing, going deeper as you want, but it's belly to thigh. And I want to make a little shift real quick because I'm thinking about some other poses that Ashtanga uses that we're not doing today, but this will help build. Step your feet to the edge of the mat so they're a little wider, right? They're not wide, we'll go there later, but they're wider. And I want you to think about bringing your belly. You can use the backs of your legs to hold on to, pulling your belly in between here. We're not going to use a strap today, we're just going to use our hands. There's not a whole lot of prop work in Ashtanga Yoga. Props are things like our blocks and our straps and our bolsters. So I'm minimizing the use, but there are places where I think as we get into it, we should use. Because alignment and happy bodies are kind of my number one goal when it comes to yoga. Okay, now, hands come back behind you, facing toward your bottom, and feet flatten. Start by just lifting the chest. Then if you'd like more, pick up the bottom, lift into tabletop. From here, sitting, bringing the legs close together up into boat pose, holding behind the legs. And if you want, you can extend them. This is kind of the Ashtanga challenge. Lifting the chest, bringing your belly closer to your thighs, like a balancing forward bend. Now right leg out, left leg bends, sit tall, hug, rotate, hand behind the body, just pressing yourself taller and then pulling deeper into a twist. Coming back to center, first sitting into staff, maybe repositioning yourself a little bit. Then sinking into that forward bend. Legs can go as wide as the mat again, or a little bit narrower now that we've woken up our legs a little bit. Sitting tall. Once again, hands behind you. Start with the lift. feet flat. Option for tabletop. An option to reach the legs out, pressing the hips up to a reverse plank. Sitting on the bottom. This time we're pulling the right knee in, hugging, sitting tall, rotating, pressing, lengthening to the sky. So notice we're not leaning back on the hand. We're sitting tall first, and then we're pressing up with the hand, then pulling into a little deeper rotation. Check the back, the extended leg, make sure the toes are pointing to the sky. Coming back to center. The palms, I guess kind of the palms, the soles of the feet are together. Knees are wide into Baddha Konasana or butterfly. Feet are together, knees out to the side, pulling yourself into it. A little front view of this would be here. So this is another vignette or chunk of poses. You may be noticing that we're kind of doing one side then the other in the same chunk, and then moving to another chunk, moving to another chunk. We've done 3 vignettes. This is the 4th of 5 vignettes of poses. From here, we're going to open our legs wide. And again, you can sit on this bolster. It's kind of nice right here in the middle. I like that. Sitting tall, feet up to the sky, pulling your belly through. I'm going to move to the side just because I kind of want it not in the middle. I want my self sitting on the front edge so that my pelvis kind of spills forward. My legs are wide, and I'm pulling myself into it. You can go as wide as you want. I'm less wide here, and that's mainly because of the camera angle. So you can go just a little wider than your mat, or you can go as wide as you want. Just double check that these second toes are facing the sky. I think sometimes in dance we get this external rotation thing that we're comfortable with. Challenge yourself to be a little uncomfortable today with those second toes pointing up to the sky. Then from here, sitting up, we're going to bring one knee up and the other up. We're wide into a boat pose. Option is to extend both legs into a wide boat pose. Lift the chest. Bending the knees, bring this in. Good. Let's move our bolster for a moment, actually probably for the rest of the practice. And we are going to put our hands underneath our bottom. So you might want to watch this before you try it. Legs will be out. We're going to sit on one hand and then sit on the other hand, rolling the shoulders back. I'm pushing through the heels of my hands and I'm lifting my chest up. Hands are connected, chest is connected, kind of like that staff pose with a little lean back. Now we're going to lean back, and you can do it one arm at a time, pressing onto the elbows, lifting the chest, and letting the head hang back. Chest is the highest point. This is fish pose. This is a really great pose for the back. You need to be warmed up to do it, and you are. Also opening the chest. To come out of this, I just like to pull one hand out, pull the other out, and lower myself down to the ground. Blade side of the hand pressing into the mat. Feet are flat. Hips lift into bridge pose. Slowly lowering to the mat, bringing one knee in, it doesn't matter which, and extending this leg up, holding behind the thigh for a hamstring stretch. We can extend the opposite leg down to the ground. So as we're nearing the end of this Ashtanga introduction, think about some of the things that made this Ashtanga. We only linked our vignettes with the sun salutation one time. And I will say this, in a true Ashtanga longer class, usually around an hour and a half, with the primary series, let's go bend the knee and switch, other side, you'll have a lot more of those links where you do the sun salutation in between chunks of poses. But the same feelings, the same kind of longer holds, the extensions, the flexions, the different muscle engagement, the balances that you feel are very similar. Well, I mean, they're directly from Ashtanga, but that's the feel of the class. The alignment, the holds, and you'll end with this hamstring stretch we're doing now, and then relax into a Shavasana. So flat on your back, hands out, let your eyes close, and just listen. Think about your right leg, and I want you to point your toes and engage all the muscles in your right leg, maybe just lifting it a little off the ground, feeling the engagement up through your thigh and your bottom and into your belly, squeezing as tight as you can. Squeezing and holding and releasing. Now for your left leg, pointing the toe, squeezing and holding, lifting the leg a little bit, holding tighter and tighter, squeezing, squeezing. And release. Let's try both legs together. You don't have to lift them this time, but point the toes, engage all of the muscles all the way up to the belly, tightening and tightening, and then relaxing. Let's try the same thing with our arms. Squeezing our right hand. Maybe we bring that hand up to our shoulder, tightening the biceps, the front of the arm as tight as we can, and then pulling the shoulder up to your ear, holding as tight, as tight, as tight, as tight, and exhale, release. And then with our left hand, again, making a fist, tightening the fist, squeezing, bringing the fist to the shoulder, squeezing all of the arm as hard as we can, and then maybe shrugging the shoulder tighter and tighter, and exhale, release. Doing both arms together, squeezing our hands, bring your hands up to our shoulders, squeezing tighter, and then shrugging both shoulders, pulling the shoulders into the ears, holding tighter, tighter, and exhale, release. imagine what's happening in the face. And then feel it and go there physically. Imagine relaxing your eyes back into your eye sockets. Relaxing your forehead and your temples and your cheeks and your lips. Allowing your teeth to separate a little bit and your tongue to sink back into your mouth. Taking a big deep breath. Noticing how you're positioned on the mat. And then when you're ready, you can actually roll onto your left side. Just lay there, curling the knees up to the chest. Head rests on the hand. Taking a big inhale again and exhale, wiggling your fingers and your toes, kind of bring your body back into this space. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and you can push yourself up to seated. Thank you so much for exploring the world of Ashtanga Yoga with me, and I'll see you next time.